want you to experience these wonderful baked apples I had in the Loire. I was at a little restaurant in Chinon, and after lunch they brought out this dessert. And I thought, oh, that's really pretty, but I had no idea how delicious it was until I ate it. It's apples with cinnamon and brandy. It's so good, and you're going to be able to enjoy it too. Loire baked apples, you're going to start with 4 apples, and I use my favorite kind, whether it's Fuji, Gala. These are actually Envy apples. So I've got the 4 apples. I've got 3 already cored. I want to show you how to core an apple. So I'm going to put my apple flat on the board, and then I'm going to take my tool, go right down through the middle, and then I'm going to churn it. Now, what I'd like for it to do, and this one's doing great, yay, is just to come straight out just like that, and you can see the core is right here. This tool, here we go, I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger by walking right around the top of it. And you see I've got it on my cutting board, and you do need to put it on something sturdy. You would never want to hold your hand on this because the bottom of this core, it's sharp. So here we go. Now I have a cored apple, and it's going to join its friends in the baking dish. So here are my apples cored. Now what I want to do is I want to stuff these apples with something delicious. And what I'm going to use is granola that I just bought at the grocery store. So I'm just going to take the granola and just go ahead and stuff it right down into my apples. And I don't mind if I get some of the granola in the dish, because it's just going to soak up all the yummy liquid that I'm going to put in just a moment. So when I had this dessert in France, it did look to me like it was just the chef's granola in there. So what you want to do is make sure you get one with lots of fruits and nuts, and this one has that. So I'm going to pack it full of goodness. Now what I have is 2 liquids to put in here. And those 2 liquids are a little bit of apple brandy. It's called Armagnac in France, and it's made just south of Cognac, but it is enjoyed all over France. So I've got a little bit of this apple brandy. It's about a 1/4 cup, 4 tablespoons, and I'm going to pour a little bit in here, and I'm going to pour it on top of each of my apples so that I can soak that granola with that yummy brandy. So there we go. And then I've got some apple cider. Now this is just plain old apple cider I bought in the grocery store. Loire is famous for its apples. Its famous dessert is apple tart tatin, but we are making a shortcut version of it today that is going to be just as delicious. I'm gonna use about a cup, maybe a cup and a half of apple cider. There we go. I just want it to come up on the sides, and I like pouring it on the granola so the granola gets soaked all the way through. Come up the sides. Oh, that looks like about a 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. And then our last thing we're going to do is we're going to take some just regular old unsalted butter, and I like the unsalted because it tastes sweeter. And I'm just going to take about a teaspoon of unsalted butter and put right on top of each one of these apples. That teaspoon is going to make it luscious and buttery tasting with only a teaspoon of butter, because it's going to melt into the granola and onto the apples. So right there. And that's it. That's all you have to do. So talk about a dessert that's a snap. That is this one, the Loire baked apples. So what I'm going to do is put this in a 350 oven that I preheated, and it's gonna cook for about 30 minutes. And because the magic of this video, I can take this over, and oh, you know, I also sometimes put it on a sheet tray. I have one that I took out of the oven just a little while ago. It's now cool, and look at all the beautiful juices. And remember I told you I made one that was just a single, so you can make a single too. And it's a little warm, but not too bad. So here are my baked apples, and I want to show you how I serve them up. So I'm going to take just a little bowl, and I'm going to grab a big spoon, and what I'm going to do is take a apple, and then I'm going to get all this lusciousness that's on the bottom. Don't want to waste any of that. Oh my gosh, y'all, it smells so good with apple brandy in there, and the granola, the fruits and the nuts. And now I've got some beautiful whipped cream. And this is real whipped cream. I whipped it a little bit earlier. If you don't want to use whipped cream, you could always use non-fat Greek yogurt, but this is an indulgent and dessert, and so I wanted to recreate it exactly the way I had it. So I'm going to put a big plop of whipped cream on there. Look at that. Yay! And then I'm just going to take some cinnamon. I have it in a shaker, and I'm just going to put some cinnamon right on top of that. Oh my gosh, doesn't that look great? And it looks so appetizing, and I can't wait to dig in. I hope you enjoyed the Loire baked apple recipe.